Yes.
Here we go. Good morning.
Good morning.
April. So we were having a really interesting conversation, talking about multiple topics such as languages, how you learn languages. We were talking about input, output.
Yeah.
Now I thought that would be interesting that we are, as I said, killing two birds with one stone. That means that we're having the same conversation, but at the same time recording it.
Yeah, in front of the camera.
Yes, because I think because we are doing an international channel, it's interesting that we are using different languages and we are talking about different topics. And usually, it's a compliment I will give you, but you are an interesting person and we have together interesting conversations. So I think we can create content that way.
Around it, yeah. So yeah, we were talking about our process learning a new language, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, like for me, my new languages that I'm trying to learn right now will be the Portuguese, trying to start speaking it, and the French, that for me is something new. I never tried learning French before, so I'm just starting with it. But Portuguese, I have a base for listening and writing, and also reading. But never spoke before. I feel too shy, but I have some process and some tips that might also be helpful for other people that are trying to learn a new language as well. So yeah, how is for you?
Yes, I was thinking, by the way, that of course, because these days we were spending a lot of time with French native speakers. We were speaking English with them. The average French person usually speak English, especially a French that is wanting to expatriate himself. Usually they speak English, they don't speak Spanish yet.
No,
And in my opinion, you will have some opportunities to practice your French because it's still interesting, like knowing different languages depending on the situations. I already had some customers, they had no English, no Spanish, and wanting to expatriate to Paraguay. This is amazing.
Really?
So they have double efforts to make because when you want to live in Paraguay, I would recommend you first, of course, this is mandatory knowing Spanish. This is the most important one, but English as well. You will connect with a lot of interesting people here that are in the process of expatriation, and I will recommend you maybe Guarani, still interesting knowing it for pleasing people.
Yeah,
a
it's
bit.
more for people.
And Portuguese. Portuguese is really important, and you told me you have some friends speaking Portuguese.
I had some friends that are from Brazil. I know a few of them, but for me it was really interesting because I could learn how they pronounce their words, the pronunciation, and of course it helped me a lot with the listening. But I didn't speak to them in Portuguese back because they wanted to learn Spanish as well. So it was like a transaction.
It's not the ideal situation. The best could be maybe to find just someone that is wanting just to speak Portuguese and that's it. Because you will mix both languages and...
For us, it was more like a transaction. So I was able to learn some words in Portuguese, get used to it, get used to the pronunciation. And for them, they will get used to the Spanish. So it was more like a transaction, that's something to learn, how to speak. It was more like getting used to the language, to listening. And it helped. It helped a lot. Now I'm able to consume more content in the Portuguese community.
Yeah, but you understand everything? For example, content made only for native Portuguese speaker.
Yeah, of course.
You understand it?
Yeah,
okay.
I like to consume a lot of media, especially YouTube videos and streamers as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite type of content, and I like to consume it a lot. And I understand pretty much well everything. Of course, there are some words that I sometimes don't know, but I'm able to understand it just by the context of it. So yeah, that's something that helped a lot with English as well.
Yes.
And I think I talked to you about it the other day, right?
Yes.
That I'm able to understand a word that I really don't know much about just by the context of the whole conversation.
Yes, with your intuition.
Yes,
Same with
intuition.
me. Sometimes in Spanish, people are talking too fast in Paraguay. They have a strange accent as well. You must know in Paraguay, people are speaking a special Spanish. I would not say it's really hard. You can adapt really fast. But of course, sometimes, for example, the last time we were with the man doing electricity inside my apartment for repair. Yes, for fixing my shower, and he told me something like he was making jokes, and I didn't understand him when you did the translation because yes, it was too fast. But sometimes with the context, I managed to, we say in Spanish, defenderme. I can defend myself and understand the context and respond something like in a great way so that the conversation is continuing.
Yeah, but especially Paraguayan people, we have like a weird accent. I think I talked about it the other day, that we speak like we have a potato in our mouth.
Yeah, your mouth is really narrow and you are not articulate a lot depending on the person as well.
Like people around the city, the main city, around Asunción, I would say, they have like a little bit more of an understandable accent. But people that are from from the interior, we call it.
Yes, we say interior for say the countryside, outside of.
Countryside.
And I think this is strange. You say interior for saying outside of Asunción because, in my opinion, that makes more sense. Saying interior, that means inside the city. But no, for you it's the opposite. It's outside the city when you're saying interior, inside the city, inside the country. You mean?
Yeah, I think it's because like the countryside of Paraguay is more to the center of the country, you know, because actually the central department or central state is not in the center of the country. Yes. Is near to Argentina.
Interesting. I think currently, because we are recording this podcast in a city, the name is Mariano Roque Alonso.
Yeah.
And this is not Asunción, this is Central, the department. And when you say Central, it's all around Asunción as well.
Not really, because there are some cities that are not part of around Asunción.
Okay.
We call it Gran Asunción or Big Asunción to the cities that are around Asunción.
And then you have Nueva Asunción. I don't know if you've seen when you are crossing the new bridge Héroe de los Chacos.
Sí.
This is Nueva Asunción as well. So you have interior, central, Asunción, Nueva Asunción, Grand Asunción. Sí. 5 things is tricky. My God.
Yeah, there are a lot of ways to call cities that are around Asunción or near Asunción, but you have, like, for example, you have Areguá or San Bernardino.
Love these places. Beautiful.
Those cities are very famous for having like some fairs or some seasons in the year where they have some kind of parties or some kind of special events. Like in San Bernardino, we call it
San Juan, no?
No, it's not the same.
Okay.
No, San Juan is for the whole country.
Okay.
But San Bernardino is a city where it's known as the city of summer in Paraguay. People go there in around December or January just to party for the summer. Is famous for that. And Areguá is famous for the fair of strawberry, La Feria La Frutilla.
I already been. Whoa, really tasty strawberry. I bought like this quantity of strawberries the last time I came. Really beautiful city, Avril. I really recommend you visiting it. And you have a hill with a church at the top of the hill. And the last time it was like sunset. I was at the top of the hill with my strawberries. That was the perfect moment. I was like in a dream with a lot of, because in Paraguay you have a lot of young people as well, like laughing. And it was like a dream. I really like this. I really enjoyed this moment. Areguá, I have great memories about.
It's a beautiful place, But
and you have Cacupe as well. More in the south.
Cacupe is maybe still Gran Asunción, like Big Asunción is still around it, but Areguá and San Bernardino are famous cities in the central department that are not part of Gran Asunción. Why? Because they're too far away to being part of Gran Asunción. Like people can't go from Asunción to Areguá maybe in 4 hours, but it's still a long drive. Maybe 4 hours, 3 hours around it, but it's a far drive, it's a far travel. So that's why it's not part of Big Asunción anymore.
Okay, interesting.
But it's still...
So I must adapt myself and know all of the different difference between these places, yes.
Yeah, but they're
orientate
still...
myself better, yes.
They're still inside of the central department.
Okay.
It's like the department for us will be the states for United States. So each department has their cities inside.
Okay, really interesting. And so we were talking about languages because this is interesting the way you are learning a language. You told me you like to use the language to understand it better. So you told me you are learning currently Portuguese and you like to going to social media and talk to a lot of Portuguese native speakers and you like to write some text, maybe writing some commentaries, and then this post, something like that.
Yeah. For me, I will say I have two steps to learn a new language. The first one is...
And I have 3.
You have 3? Well, for me...
Tell me and I will reveal you my technique.
Okay, perfect. Yes. So for me, it's easier, well, if you think as that, but for me, I have the inside part, just working myself with consuming content, reading, listening to videos, watching series.
Yes.
That's more the...
Like a sponge absorbing all of the informations.
The sponge absorbing the information. And then I have to get it out, of course. And that's the second part for me, that is talking, well, not speaking, not talking, but just interacting with people that are native from the
target language.
The target language, that's it. Thank you. But for me, I try to use especially Twitter, Instagram. Sometimes I do comments on YouTube, but not that much because people are not answering them.
Yes, they are more shy, the people in YouTube. Because you are watching this video, I think it will be available on YouTube only.
Probably.
Why are you not commenting the video? This is different. Yeah.
I want to know your opinion on this.
No rush, no worries. Tranquilo, as we say in Paraguay.
Yeah, don't worry. The thing is that, I like to comment on people's posts, so I can see how they respond to me. I can see the way they write, and I can copy it. So once I get used to the way of writing, then I can formulate my words and just speak it normally, talk to people normally. But for me, first is writing, and then just putting that into the speaking part. So
Interesting, yes. And I think the best way of learning a language, I think maybe you've seen it from this podcast and the last podcast we did 1 week ago. I think we improved. We are more fluent because with April, we are spending a lot of time together, and I told her that would be better if we can only speak English 95% of the time. And I think personally I improved because of course I think you have a better level in English than me.
I don't know.
You know a lot of tiny knowledge that I wasn't aware of it, and this is interesting spending time with you.
I think it's more like an internet language.
Yes, of course. Just sometimes possible because we are non-native together. Not you, not me, two native speakers. But I think together we are improving because there is a technique if you want to improve your language skills of talking, just to talk to yourself. So I would say instead of talking to yourself, talk with someone. It's much more enjoyable. Even if we are not native, I think we managed to create to learn better the language. In my opinion, I am becoming more fluent just talking with you, even if you are not native speakers. So I think that works.
Maybe our pronunciation is not the best, of course.
The accent as well. We have weird accent. Maybe now you, as a Hispanic native speaker, I would say no, your accent is pretty good.
But yeah, of course, there are some things that we cannot gather as we will do it with native speakers. But I think the way we formulate words and how fast we formulate the phrases, it's getting better even if we are not native speakers.
Exactly.
We are getting used to the language, and of course we are getting used to formulate this phrase easier.
And I would say this is one of the most important thing. When you're learning a language, the most important thing is to understand the language and to speak fast so that you can have normal conversation, of course.
Yeah,
and I wanted to share my 3 techniques.
Yeah,
I was about to
I
ask you
think I
that.
never told you how I learn languages.
Not the whole
Depending on the difficulty of the language, because like when I was 22, I am 29 currently. I don't know why, but I became really passionate about learning languages. And I learned multiple languages such as English, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, German. It was a tricky one, and currently I am learning Russian. And depending on the difficulty of the language, for example, for me as a French native speaker, learning Spanish was easy. But learning, for example, German, I struggled a lot. Currently learning Russian, it's as well a tricky challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have basically 3 techniques, and in my opinion, it is like when you are driving a car, you have different gears. You know,
Oh, yeah.
gears 1, gears 2, gears
Yeah.
3, and depending on your level in the language, you are using different gears. And when you are trying to learn a really difficult language, for example, if tomorrow I want to learn Chinese, I am gear 1, so it's important practicing only this first step.
Okay.
And the first step is only vocabulary. We say in English vocabulary is king, and I spend my whole time just learning vocabulary. And I am still doing it in Russian. I know over maybe 1,500 words in Russian. And I think it's not enough. I need to learn more, so I am doing vocabulary, and I am using a really interesting application. The name is Tobo. You can check it out if you want. It's available on.
You told me about it once, but I don't remember how you write it.
The Apple Store and the Google Store. Tobo, you spell it Tobo, and plus the name of the language you want to learn. For example, for you, Tobo Portuguese, I think even if you already have a great level in Portuguese or you already understand it, I think that makes sense that you are learning some different words.
Yeah.
And I really like this application because it's well done, like it's really basic. You have over 3,500 words, and whether I want to learn a new language, I am finish all of the application, the whole application, then I erased it and I upload it again, and I am repeating it till I am getting comfortable with the application. For example, I already finished multiple times the Tobo Russian application about learning languages, but I think I need to practice more, so I am still erasing the application, uploading, and again.
This application will be only for the vocabulary, right?
Yes, only vocabulary focused application. So you have different application as well. You have as well Enki. This is another alternative. Have you already heard about Enki? It's more personalized application. You can enter some data inside it as you want, and you can learn everything you want. But usually people are using Enki so that you can learn languages that way, a lot of vocabulary, and it's using the space repetition science, we could say. And Togo is almost the same. It's using a thing like that. So yes, it's working really well. So this is my first step, learning vocabulary.
Okay.
The second technique is really common and really famous for people wanting to learn different languages. The name is input comprehensive. You already heard about it?
You tell me a little bit about it.
That means it's a theory developed by the name of the creator is Stephen Krashen, the man who found this technique. And basically that means you have a big exposition of the language. For example, you want to learn English, you surround yourself by English. Yes, you listening English. I really like to play video games, and I am listening podcast at the same time. And this is crazy. It's working really well. Yeah. And you
You need to surround yourself by the language and consuming a lot of media about it, even if it's just like books, even if it's video game, even if it's series, like things that you like, but just search it in the language you want to learn. Is that right?
And even when when you are talking about a lot about the exposition, this is actually a lot because over 1,000 hours you must consume.
1,000 hours.
Yeah, in my opinion, if you want to reach the fluency in any language, even the easiest, for example, recently, I think I reached a great level in Italian. And I think if we count all of the hours I already listen Italian, I think it's over 1,000 hours. So it's a lot of time, but you can listen the language at any time. For example, when you are washing your plates, your dish, you can listen to the podcast. If you are cleaning your apartment, if you are driving, if you are walking. I really love walking on the street and listen to the podcast. Or if you are playing video games as well, I like it.
Of course.
Or when you are watching series as well, this exposition.
This is something that I think you talked to me about when I told you that I wanted to learn French as well.
Yeah, the input.
Yeah, the input, but you talk to me about the passive listening. There will be as well inside the input phase, right?
Exactly. This is the input phase. I would say the first gear and the second gear is basically about being a sponge, having
Absorbing
artificial
all the
immersion so that you can absorb the language, and that way something will happen inside your brain, and automatically you will understand things. You will understand more percentage of any content. And the best way to do it is finding the sweet spot that you understand over 80% of the topic of the content you're consuming. It's still challenging, but you still understand it, and that is why it's really difficult when you are starting a new language, and a difficult one. For example, Russian. I remember. During maybe 1 year and a half, when I was listening a content in Russian, I was understanding nothing. And that is why I told you the first gear is vocabulary, so you must learn more vocabulary so that you can
Go to the next
go
step.
to the next gear.
Can I
And
ask
in
you-
sorry,
yeah,
for you learning French, I think you can understand it a little bit, so you can start with the second gear without any problem.
Okay, perfect.
And the third gear is about, of course, practicing. Yes, but sorry.
Before going to that, I wanted to ask you if you think that learning a new language, is like when a kid, a baby, tries to learn their native language for the first time. Like, you think you feel a little bit more like that, like you're a child trying to understand a new world.
Exactly. And I have some stories to share because I was learning Spanish when I was in Colombia first.
Yeah.
And I remember I had a girlfriend at this moment, and she was preparing me the coffee, or I don't know, pouring me some water, and she was like, "This is a glass of water. Do you want?" And I was like a child, but it was a great exercise. It worked a lot. I learned a lot
I know.
thanks to this relation I had and this
I
trip
know
to Colombia
so.
as well.
I know some teachers that use this kind of method. I saw it multiple times in internet that they use this kind of method where they treat you like you're a little kid and they talk to you like in kids shows, but with the language you want to learn. That's yours?
Sorry, but thank you very much for assisting this podcast. And just before you leave, something very important. This ebook. Yes, Paraguay, an essential guide for successful expatriation. You can download this ebook for free by clicking in the first link in the description. And if you want an assistance right away, you can click in the second link in the description.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.